live the life of 10. I can't recall my own. If there's one thing I know, let's always run a home. 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 And I am never alone. Let's always run a home. hate this. Is there a chance for redemption, a chance for atonement from our rotten action? Settling all our differences with a fistful of ice cold iron. No, these are the end of our days. Bringing pain to the faithless, ignoring our friend in the ways. You're dying to hate this. You're dying to hate this. You're dying to hate this. Don't let the bullshit guide you. You know the truth from the first day. Don't let them cuts surprise you. They're telling lies and you're dying to hate this. You're dying to hate this. You're dying to
start a war a bit there.
We did it again. It hasn't happened for so long. We haven't done that for so long. We're usually
We were
so
on a
good
roll.
about it. High River Brewing in High River, Alberta. Delicious drinks. They're just finishing up all their summer activities. So if you're in the Calgary area, you want to go down to High River, you want to get some drinks, get out of the city for a little bit, it's a good time. Obscene Productions in Edmonton. You need video shoots, you need photography, need any sort of creative graphic design, logos, posters for shows. Obscene Productions, hit them up. Prairie Fire Productions. If you need AV for shows, they got big light shows. They got some really wild light shows. In all the Loud as Hell videos, all the light shows were Prairie Fire Productions. All the sound, stage, everything Prairie Fire Productions. That's who sponsors our show. They're great.
Or if you wanna install like a home theater,
Yeah.
give them a call.
Yeah, he'll actually help you out with that shit. Check them out. Those are our sponsors. Today we have my good buddy Kyle Charles. Kyle, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, man, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Now, Kyle is doing the album art for the newest Horrify release. I guess I can't really call it album art, but I'll call it EP art. He's doing some amazing art for us. Kyle has also done art for Marvel Comics, Heavy Metal Magazine, and Nike. And he's got some fun stuff to talk about with those companies today. In between, we're going to check out some music videos. So let's fire this up with a music video, and then we'll get into chatting about these companies with Kyle here. So this is 13 Goats. If you're in Calgary this weekend, you got to come to Vern's on Friday, because this band is going to be there. They're coming through. We're having a time. Then we're having another time. And then we're having another time. That's 3 times the time. And then we're having a time and a half. So you're going to want to be there for 4.5 times of time, because that's a good time.
That's so much math.
That's math, Ryan. That's fucking math, man. But don't worry. Let me do I'll do the math for you. 4.5 time of good time is good time means time.
Squared.
Hey, I'm the one doing the fucking math here, Ryan. You little fucking devil. All right, let's check this out. Can you hear this all right?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear you can hear the video okay?
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
So is this shit live? Are we live? Is that what
Yes, we are live on
we're
Twitch
live.
right now, buddy.
Alright, dope, man. Alright, cool. Hey, who's this we're watching, man? What is
This is 13 Goats.
13 Goats.
13 Goats from Vancouver.
Alright, cool, man. Got some nice production quality going on here.
Right? This is a good video. There we go. This reminded me of that movie, The Cell.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, with J-Lo.
Yeah. I haven't watched the full video yet. I've only watched a little bit of it. We gotta find the article too. There's supposed to be a new Job for a Cowboy song out too. After 10 years.
Pig squeals with delight. He keeps spitting bloody things into his hand.
I will give them a pass on these clean vocals because riffs. Give it up for riffs.
See, when you're made trash, you can just basically make up answers. And
Hey, it's my fucking show. Hey, welcome to my fucking show. My name's
This is my show, man.
This is Hat Talk. My name's Nate Hat. This is my hat that I'm wearing on the show. Ryan's got a hat from a band called Gua. Kyle's wearing a hat too. It's a sideways cross. You usually see an upside down cross, but it's a sideways cross. Kyle Charles goes against the grain. Back to the music video. More Ryan than I've ever seen.
what, in frame?
Yeah, I adjusted.
I finally found the perfect spot for my chair. So even if I lean back, I don't let it dip out of the frame.
Just lean back right out of the fucking room.
I would go off screen and my picture just goes away.
Just taking 5, fellas. Just taking 5.
Trailer tipped over. What's up, Evil Knievel?
Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel.
I told him he needed to come out to Loud as Hell and talk to him for probably about 10 minutes.
Did he come by our camp? I still don't know who he is. I'm still trying to preserve the mystique.
Yeah, see, this is the best part, is because I totally introduced you. I'm pretty sure I was like, this is Buddy.
So funny thing about Loud as Hell, it's a timeless vortex. I swear I tripped on mushrooms, did one interview, rode on the one wheel, and then I was back walking to fucking work again. It was so terrible.
Time travel.
Yeah. I slept twice.
Was that this year?
Yeah, buddy, it was good. Jess was there. It was so awesome to see Jess out from BC, hanging out at our camp with us and everything. That was the fucking coolest shit ever. Oh, I think I might remember you introducing me to this guy, Ryan. But
Yeah.
was it on Friday before we played?
See, I don't know. That's just all one big long day.
Trick
that whole
question.
weekend.
That's what I was just going to say. Trick question, because I was pretty messed up every day. That was 13 Goats. They're playing this Friday. It's going to be a wild
Saturday
one.
morning, yeah.
We got more juice that we're going to be putting out here. Let's see if we... Okay. Let's find this new Job for a Cowboy song. I think it's on Spotify.
We're gonna get flagged.
No, this is bullshit. There was a
I seen a post too.
post for an exclusive stream.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just seen like a new album cover and was like, oh shit. I think Griff shared it.
Roots. I shared it today too.
Yeah.
Okay, so who else is playing? Exit Wound is playing, but I wonder if they have any good videos out. I got good videos of them. Let's see if they come up. Ban. Yeah.
Exit Wound ban.
Exit Wound. Let's see if it goes trash talk. Pretty sure I got some fucking sick stuff from last year's fucking Moments Fest.
There we go. And that's happening this weekend.
Yeah. Filmed on the amazing fucking phone.
What's up, CyberFox 420?
That phone did amazing things for us, Ryan. Everybody, let's get an F in the chat for the old trash talk phone rig.
There's Matt just ready to throw the fuck down.
Contrary to popular belief, this is not narcissistic necrosis.
They just play so fast, it looks like there's 4 people on stage.
Yes.
Yo, where is this at?
This is out at the Siksika Powwow Arbor in Gleason.
Okay.
We're headed out there again this weekend.
It's 2 days this time. Some stuff happened, so they were like, we're only going to do it like a 1-day festival thing. And they had 2 stages going simultaneously.
Yeah.
So they have a stage set up inside with the band playing, and like the sets are kind of altered, but like there's usually most of the time there's 2 bands playing at once.
Yeah.
We were gonna poach Torin for Horrify when we were looking for a new bassist, but he didn't get back to me in time. I think that kid would have shredded with Horrify.
You guys can't all be moving around. It's too much movement.
Ryan, I'll fucking decide, okay?
Hey, I'm the only one here that's a full-time crowd member.
You were kicked out of the band, though. We kicked you out of the band because of the whole instrument thing and not knowing how to play any of them. I'm the only one who's allowed to be in the band and not know how to play any instruments because I yell really loud.
Yeah, I can only do one thing.
Yeah, you're too chill to yell really loud into a microphone for 30 minutes at a time. You'd just be like, eh.
It would definitely have to be like liquor fueled.
The real intent comes out.
Then he rips half of his shirt off, the other half just kind of hangs on him, and he's just like, ah.
This is my fucking show now, Nate.
Here's the thing about fucking capitalism.
Who gave him a lighter? Why does he have a fucking lighter?
Ryan, you don't smoke. You don't smoke, Ryan. No.
Smoke this. I spend most of my time watching bands. I don't have the discipline for instruments or anything.
Watching bands? Like bands?
Bands.
Bands?
I love watching bands.
Like bands? Is that like a bicycle dance? Like a bance? You're bancing around. I don't know. Shut up. I'm an idiot, Ryan. Shut up.
These are bands. We're watching a band right now.
So, Kyle, let's talk
man.
here. That was Exit Wound. Exit Wound is going to be playing with us, or playing a show this Friday at Vern's. You're going to want to come and check them out. It's going to be a knee slapper. It's going to be a knee slapper of a good time.
I've been looking for one of those.
All right. So, Kyle, Charles, my good man. How are you doing, buddy? You doing good?
I'm hanging in there, man.
Hell yeah, buddy. Good to hear. Good to hear. So, introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do, my friend.
Yeah, man. Well, to all the listeners out there, yeah, man. I'm an illustrator and a writer, primarily visual artist. But yeah, I'm from Edmonton here. Met, Nate and all those guys down south in Didsbury way back when. And that's how we know each other. But yeah, man, I worked for Marvel, worked for Nike. A lot of, giant companies were kind of boarding the bandwagon when it came to Indigenous content, because I'm a Indigenous creator primarily. But yeah, I'm thinking like 2018, I left mainstream comics. I was working for like Image and Aftershock and all that stuff, and just like, doing comic books with a bunch of people that I'd never even met before. And left because of like just the bullshit I was dealing with, like not getting paid and like getting ripped off from IP and getting fed bad contracts and all this kind of just nefarious shit. So I went to my community for work. I went to the Indigenous community for like, I knew the content was going to be there, like there's going to be a need for it. So I got in front of it, and thankfully it was like, you can see some artwork for an upcoming graphic novel of mine called Spy, which in 2018 it set a 5-year plan in motion, and the idea being like at the end of the 5 years to have Marvel come to me instead of begging for a job all the time, and to do that through all the Indigenous work that I was going to do. And honestly, it took from 2018 to 2020 to do it. Like, Marvel hit me up and everything else. Like, the story kind of blew up, because like I was on the streets drawing comics in like 2015 and shit. And I told the guys from CTV that, and just kind of like passing. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, man, I used to sleep out back at the Grant McEwen. Like, he was right across the street from where we were. And I was like, at the time, like 5 years prior, like on the street, drawn in the park on 105th in Jasper, like getting comic books done and shit. And then the story like blew up across Canada, man. Like it went like national. I was on like Good Morning Canada with Ben Mulroney and shit. Which is like
Ben Mulroney.
Yeah, man. Like he's getting a bunch of shit wrong about like Seth MacFarlane. I was like, it's Todd McFarlane, fool. But yeah, he's just like half interested in. Well, he's a nice guy, whatever. But like he was just like kind of like half interested in whatever. And like
I'm gonna be honest, we're just doing this for views.
yeah, like that's what it like. It's true though, right? Like it is. It's none of this being on the side of like the woke movement of like everyone's getting a crack at it. It's been very beneficial. There's no denying it. But there's still like a certain level of like stuff missing from the infrastructure of these companies, like I'd say that the closest one that came to actually having like, part of our community inside of the infrastructure and like, deep in there is Nike. Nike actually has like a lot of people within that system that are like, from our communities and stuff, and it's pretty rad. But the rest of like my experiences have been pretty like fucked up, like working for I worked for a company last year, and I won't say who, but we're doing this like 3D immersive project, and so it came to the point where like anyway, just heads up, this is not my artwork, this is I'm just yeah
Let's go to this one that you did here.
Yeah, man, so that's a recent Street Fighter cover. Yeah, but I worked for this company last year, and it's like they're very involved. Like, you know, we're hiring indigenous artists, we're getting consultants and writers and all this kind of stuff. And these two writers were happily kind of like giving away their IP to this company. And I was just like, you guys shouldn't do this, you know? But by the end of it, man, like I had to quit that job because like I had like people from France, these, you know, like red-headed, white-faced people telling me like what I was drawing wasn't like native enough. That like everybody had to have braids.
Of course
like
they
I was
were.
like, I was like,
Yep.
what the fuck? I was like, I'm indigenous. I don't have a braid, man.
Yep.
What the fuck? Are you
I don't have a braid either, man. I just I have a mohawk, but
yeah, right. Like what the fuck? I just got a haircut, dude.
That's the way
Right?
it goes, man. They all have to be 6 feet tall. They all have to be slender as well and look super super fine in a leather loincloth. That's the way it has to go,
all
man.
of my cousins are thick as fuck.
Every fucking
Word, man. Like,
every indigenous
it's like
person.
nutrition, like health and diet, like isn't like you know, like I studied took native studies in native lit and native art and U of A, and one of the things I learned was like they did this study in this coastal town in BC, taking a whole like town's worth of indigenous people and taking them off of what we eat as a modern day food is in terms of like potatoes and rice and all these carbs and shit, and like just sticking them on what we only used to live off of the land before with like fish and all this kind of stuff. And they like prove that like the diabetic epidemic amongst like the native community is like from these refined sugars. Obviously it affects everybody, right?
That's everybody.
But the native community especially.
You didn't have
we didn't have refined sugars
for
as long as these
generations.
other people.
No.
Like,
Europeans are like, I'm white as they come. I'm Danish white. You know, there was always some sort like we
he
were
burst
drinking.
into flames in direct sunlight.
Yeah, the Danish have been drinking mead and drinking beer for like over 1,000 years, right?
Yeah.
So like sugar and alcohol and shit is all up in our fucking, it's all in our bloodstream, it's all in our genes. So is like hardcore fucking depression, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, word, man. But yeah, just like experiences like that have kind of like led me to this path. Like recently, I like just quit Marvel altogether. Like I just told them pretty much to go fuck themselves, and kind of born out of this conversation of like, just who above the like the writer or the artist that you hire do you guys have steering the ship? Because like when it comes to editorial, they're actually the ones dictating what goes on in the story. And if it's being directed by people outside the community, then are we really telling our own stories at all? And I was met with, well, it's unfortunate that you can't finish this story for us. I was like, are you hearing anything I'm saying about this at all? Like you're just going to completely ignore the fact that I'm asking who in the infrastructure is actually steering the ship when it comes to these stories, because if people don't understand, like we're like, I think it, like for me personally, through my own experiences, and like I'll also touch on some other nefarious shit that I've uncovered, like in like discovered like non-for-profits targeting native communities and stealing from them. But I don't think any corporate entity should own indigenous art or indigenous IP at all without a very generous fee. And the reason behind this being because, you know, here in Canada we have treaty cards, right? It's something that we have to prove to have full blood, right? So I've got a barcode to present in order to be like, yes, I'm indigenous. And if somebody is Métis, then they have to produce a card.
Alex,
and prove,
my
yes,
partner
right?
has one of those. Yeah.
Right, you have to have some kind of proof. Nowhere else on earth does this take place. Nowhere else on earth. There's no Italian status card. And in America, the way they do this is different. And this is where like companies in America should know this. And I've said this to more than one company.
Isn't the state have, like the blood quantum? Like you have to have a certain percentage of like indigenous blood to be considered indigenous.
But the reason why they have to, because they can't just do that to human beings. They have to have a reason why, because otherwise you're just treating people like livestock. So their whole reason behind that blood quantum and the need behind that, because you're right, it's all blood quantum. They measure you like you are livestock. Is that so whether or not you can have a license to sell native art. So any kind of artifacts that you actually make, they're authentically indigenous, right? So if you're going to any kind of market, then you could say, yes, this is authentic indigenous artwork.
It's a fucking
So, because
marketing
it's-
scheme.
right? Well, that's all like designed so that they can slowly weed out the treaties, right? And 'cause those are supposed to last until every river runs dry, every like blade of grass. turns
Oh, buddy,
dead,
they're working on it. Fuck.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
yeah, like, 'cause
fucking
I'm,
working
like,
on it.
Like I'm Bill C, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, unless I marry and have children with like a treaty status woman, or no, I think it's if I have kids, they'll be treaty status. But if a native woman, and because this is even crazier, and if a native woman has kids with someone outside who's not treaty, then those children are not treaty.
Yeah, my
And
cookum.
that's how they end it.
Married a Métis man and lost her rights, and then Canada finally changed that
Yeah.
so that like all my aunties and uncles and my mom got their treaty rights, and then me and my sister and all my cousins get ours. But then they're like, it stops there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like it's
Right.
intense. Like if you take, like I encourage everybody, if you're not aware of like what the Indian Act is, to read that document.
Check it out.
It's pretty gnarly because a lot of people are like, come on. It's like this happened. This is like hundreds of years
It's
ago.
still
like
happening now.
1934.
It's still
Yeah.
it's still
That's
fucking
not-
happening now.
It's not that long
It's
ago.
still
bro.
fucking happening now. Like
yeah.
it's still happening now, and it's still just as fucking heartbreaking and just as fucking terrifying for indigenous people. People might think it might be a little bit easier, but it's a little bit easier for who? The ones that can function and move through it a little bit easier, because it should be equitable, not just equal. And it's fucking terrible. I personally don't know, but I'm glad that I have friends like you who can kind of like shine that light for me. I have lots of other friends too. Carlin, we're going out to Six Sika next weekend for the fest and everything. And it's always good experiences learning about this stuff, so that way I
See,
can
like,
be more educated and treat people better and know my people, my community better as well.
well, I didn't have any idea about the thing like with the like down in the States, like you have to have that blood quantum, and then everything that you make is like art is like a native
Wild.
artifact. Like that kind of blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, like, and I tell this to a company like Marvel, where I'm like, I don't expect them to give up their IPs, even though they're not created by indigenous people or whatever. And it's all like, it's like, and don't get me wrong, like, I understand that's how companies work.
Yeah,
It's
you create
totally
something
understand.
you're contracted to create something for the company.
Yeah, like, well, when it comes to Marvel, like, the trade-off is pretty obvious. It's like,
Yeah.
One day I was just a comic book artist, and like in my mind, it's like working for Image Comics is huge because that's Tom McFarlane. That company is fucking legendary as well.
Fuck yeah.
But I go from being just a dude who fucking draws comics to a Marvel comic artist, and like the difference is night and day. And like my life absolutely changed, like completely after that happened. And but the weird thing is that the past 3 years, and this is weird to fucking say, it's only been 3 years since that happened. The 3 years felt like 10, and like,
Oh,
I think that's just like,
one of those situations.
yeah, dude, like it's, I've been like extremely fortunate. Don't get me wrong, man. Like I'm not complaining or bitch about anything. Like I am grateful. And it was fucking wicked experience, like getting to see how all the stuff works and how contracts are born and all that kind of shit. But yeah, it's like so gnarly. Like, and like the amount of work. Because I also had like a 2-year first look deal with Novana Studios, who did like Bad Bar and Care Bears. I mean, like fucking what's that old
Fucking
school
Care Bears, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah, like with like Novana Studios is like at the end of every cartoon they'd have that like polar bear at the
Yeah,
end.
buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so all those cartoons, like I got offered a 2 years.
Every cartoon we watched as children.
Exactly right. Like all the raccoons, like all the good shit was Nelvana, man. So like even getting to work with them, so it was like a wicked 3 years of just like learning shit. But like the things I see going on as well, and there's a reason why like I'm pivoting out of what I've been doing the past like 5 years. I'm 10 years into this career. The past 5 years is all indigenous shit. So this one company this non-for-profit. I won't say their name because the person who owns or runs it, the CEO, is a very litigious person. But this is easy enough to figure out for people if they ever really want to figure this out. So, anyways, this is not-for-profit, like educational literary service that's like putting out indigenous stories and giving them to communities, like indigenous communities, to help kids learn how to read from like grade 1 to 3. And some of the creators, like the way it's pitched to me, was like some of the creators who make these things, they get to call in and read to the kids. And I was like, all this stuff is great, right? Like, you know, helping the community, you get to actually get involved and, you know, get to draw the story.
You're helping kids, right?
Yeah, right? So I'm like, sold. And even when she was like, tell me that these, you know, some of these people, you know, call in or read, I was like, touched. I was like, fuck, that's cool, man. Like, I sign me up, you know, sign me up. This is fucking great. And then she's like, well, can you draw anything like cartoonish? And I was like, yeah, well, actually, I mentioned like I, you know, just finished up with Nirvana doing some cartoony shit over there. So I could definitely pull some cartoony shit out for you guys. And then she's like, oh, that's great. She's like, actually, I was a producer on Dora the Explorer. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here then? I was like, what are you doing working in a non-for-profit? And I was like, I was like, oh, cool. And so I was like, so who gets to keep the IP and the intellectual property, right? And she was like, kind of stunned, and I was like, yeah, like who gets that? She's like, well, what we
He asked the question.
exactly, man. She's like, well, we keep the IP, and I was like, why? I was like, why? You guys are not for profit. That's an equity.
Yeah,
And
you're
she's
gonna
like-
reproduce
and
it, or you're gonna
she-
you're gonna auction it off.
Well, like their whole thing is that like they pay really low wages because they're not for profit, right? I figured out though, like, because I mean, not for profit, you have to list like where you get all your money from, right? And so
Yeah.
these people get fucking almost $1 million in funding from the Canadian government alone. They have several streams of funding, so almost $4 or $5 million in funding per year. Now that's an important thing to keep in mind because what I'm about to tell you is fucking ridiculous. So I go, oh, okay. Well, she immediately, once I asked about the IP, she's like, all right, we can't work with you. That's all right. Thanks anyways. And I was like, all right, well, hang on. Before I go, I'll help if you want. Like, I can help you find some young artists if you want. Some people who, like, if I'm too advanced at the stage or whatever, maybe I can help you find somebody who is, like, just coming out of school that can work with you guys. And she's like, that'd be wonderful. And I was like, of course it would be, fucking slime ball. Like, she just wants to take advantage of somebody, right? So I was like, all right, cool. So I play stupid. I'm like, I'm just play stupid for now. So anyways, I get a second meeting with these people. And like this time it's the CEO of the guy who runs the Canadian side of this business, because there's 3 different businesses and they all exist in Canada, US, and UK. And so when I get on the phone with these guys, man, like they just give me line after line of bullshit about the contracts that they have. They use one base contract for the person who fixes their computer to the person who creates the artwork for the story to the person who writes it. So the IPs are non-existent. And so what I called them out for is like, well, it's pretty simple. Like what you guys are doing is IP mining. You have an IP farm where you can, like, I've got $75,000 for 10 pitches of an idea or 10 different ideas, right? You should be paying these people for what they're giving you. And they bullshit about what the contract is. So they said that the reason why they used the one contract for everybody is because they couldn't afford to have somebody write a new contract to give the IPs back to the artists.
Oh.
I was just like, are you what the fuck, man? Meanwhile, like the person who owns the whole thing is a lawyer. And
So-
like they
You
lied.
could have just changed like one fucking line and that would have been it, right? Like,
He's
Well,
not the right
what they
kind of
do-
lawyer, though. Oh,
They can't afford one, right? Well, like they said that they have a licensing contract. I was finally like, well, use a licensing contract. What's wrong with you? And the guy was like, well, we do. And I was like, all of a sudden now you do. Okay. Well, why didn't you offer that to anybody in the first place? And the reason why they don't is because the CEO is not comfortable with that. I'm like, do you think that's not only like ethically okay, but like I'm pretty sure that's illegal for a not-for-profit to own equity. And this lady's just like, oh, Kyle, we don't own anything. And I was like, well, maybe you don't for long. I'm pretty sure though that like, cause she's like, well, we don't produce any other media. I'm like, well, maybe not you. I was like, but you could sell these IPs to yourself for $1 if you own another media company, and then boom. I was like, if you work for Dora the Explorer, and I've done the research on this, like what they like the show and how it became to be, and they cover the same 3 educational sectors that like indigenous communities in Canada do, which is culture, language, and education, like for like schooling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the 3 things that they target right in that show, and that's what her mission statement for this company is. And like, they were caught, man, but like by the end of it, they claim that they're going to use a different contract, but like just after doing that, like after like I'm taking a stand. Like, this isn't the end of conversation with these people either. Like, we're pursuing something with them, but after that, like, I just couldn't work for Marvel anymore either. I had to fucking dip and just ask those questions of Marvel, and they couldn't give me any answers at all. And I was just like, all right, well, I've got my answers right there, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuck out of here. And
That's fucking wild, man. That's fucking wild shit, man. Nothing fucking changes. Nothing changes with these fucking crooks, man. Let's I want everybody to check out this fucking cover here that our homie did. This isn't official work, but it is Kyle's work. Fucking
yeah, so this is a sketch cover. This is just like drawn right on a blank cover. So the only thing that came with the cover is that Street Fighter logo and the little pricing down at the bottom. Everything else like is drawn right on the cover, inked, and then colored with pencil crayon and marker.
fucking sweet, man. Yo, Dakota, homie, drummer from Eyes of Perdition in the chat.
Oh, shit.
How you doing, buddy? I hope you're not melting down there in Vegas, bud. Probably is, though. Probably
Eyes of
totally
Perdition
is.
fucking rips.
Fucking smoked everybody out there. Our microphone was cranked up all the way, so we didn't get good audio. But we at least got him the good footage, so that's something. Sitting on a bag of ice right now. Nice. So, let's actually check out some Eyes of Perdition here right now. All right. Oh, new video coming. When is this coming out, Dakota? 3 days. 3 sexy days.
Drywall.
Notify me. Give me them notifications, you little devils. All right, let's check this one out. Let's turn off that Spotify, though. Fucking Friday, Dakota. Caveman riffs, baby.
Did they play? Wait, what day did they play?
I believe they played Saturday.
Okay. Caveman riffs all weekend.
Ryan, I was so just on one, bro. Sunday, they played Sunday.
Okay, yeah, okay, because like I've just been saying Sunday was for the cavemen, and like all day Sunday was just fucking heavy thumping riffs, like the whole fucking day. It was fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, that's why the microphone was fucked up, because I was filming their set, not Brian. God damn it, Brian. You can't let me.
It wasn't even me.
You can't let me run my own show, man. The fuck is this?
Why is there a password on the camera?
696969. Just open a new file.
69420.
Just open a new file. I can't wait for the next time you guys come up north.
Yeah.
The stankinest bass, man. Did they switch instruments in this song? Man, that was awesome. I love it when shit like that happens.
Growing up in Saskatoon, there was a band, I think they were called Rotundi, and it was a two-piece grind band. And halfway through their set, the drummer and the guitar player traded places and then finished the other half of their set. All I can say is that there was like some pretty intense, like 3-person pits at those shows.
Hell yeah, buddy. Those are the sickest ones, man. That's where
Just you and two of your friends just clocking each other.
that's where legends are made. Legends are made in the numbers between 3 and 7.
And don't get me wrong, the venue was packed.
Hell yeah. Next time you come, Dakota, we'll make sure we have a whole bunch of really big joints rolled for you, bro.
There was a venue growing up in Saskatoon that was literally called the Grindhouse, and it wasn't really a venue. It was just like a trap house with a fucking stage in the basement.
Hell yeah. I got some videos of that.
Awesome, dude.
I got some videos of some basement stuff, some crazy basement stuff, some good stuff, some good crazy
Being like a
basement stuff.
fucking like 50-year-old kid with a mohawk, like fucking I just want to be fast and loud. Let's go.
That
Fucking played fucking
no
Rob Haskett's.
Fuck.
Played Rob Haskett's Eviction Party basement show.
nice.
We destroyed the entire fucking house, man. Like they
That
were
sounds
throwing
like-
axes into the wall and shit.
That sounds like a Haskett thing.
Yeah,
No drywall left.
yeah, pretty much, man. It was
So,
fun.
seen a show last year where the guitar player was standing on top of the bass player's upright bass while he still played it. I think the band you were thinking of is, if it was local, you're thinking of the Devil's Sons out of Edmonton. Quite sick, quite nicely. So now we're gonna move into another jam here.
So
but-
Kyle, you have unreleased like SoundCloud rap songs or something you want us to play?
Why you think I'm a rapper?
I don't know.
No.
I assume everybody has a SoundCloud rap album.
That's kind of when he always thinks that hidden music means SoundCloud rap.
Oh, okay.
Are you a hidden
Yeah,
musician?
funny that you mentioned it. I actually do have an album on a SoundCloud rap album. Yeah.
Oh shit!
No, I'm just kidding, man.
Not telling us what it is though.
Fuck.
I do have music on SoundCloud, but there's no lyrics to it. I don't make any kind of I don't rap or
Okay.
anything like
Just
that.
like instrumentals.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
like, there's
send
one
us a
actually
link?
like made that's actually like made out of like guitar and bass and shit, and then the rest is just like Fruity Loop beats that I fucking used to make.
Yeah,
But it's
see,
not
like,
like it's not like hip hop.
because I'm like I'm not a musician in any way. I just really like listening to music.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, guys, like I used to like back in the day in high school, like before there's any metal down south, like we were like the only metal band, honestly. Like the only band that we could find to play with down in Didsbury was Christened, which was like a Christian rock band.
Yeah,
that was
baby.
like they were like they were pretty legit
Christined.
too, you know, like they
Christined.
they were pretty legit band.
Oh,
They
man.
we're talking about you're talking about those little mosh pits, man. Like, you know, we had like a little mosh pit going out to Didsbury High School, the old one that they tore down or whatever, and it was like we're opening up for Christened, and it was like the only like kind of like a real official show that we ever played as a band, and it was like it is like if a lot of people can't say like what their favorite day in their whole life is, like I can. That was my favorite day I've ever lived.
Fuck yeah,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, man.
Yeah, everything about that day was just like the fucking best, and just never anything ever topped like that. That was just the shit, man.
Fucking rights, dude. Christian rock from fucking Didsbury, Alberta, baby. Only
yeah,
only
man.
the
And then like,
sickest.
cause that was around the time where Nickelback was like, this is like 03, like 02, 03. So like Nickelback was fucking, you know, just
My
the biggest band on the
kid
planet.
wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, man. It was like, yeah, it's been a minute since then.
Jesus.
But,
Breaking
like
my
that's what I'm
brain.
talking about, man. There was no metal scene down in Didsbury. Like it's so funny to me now, like going down there back in like 2014 or whatever the last time I was down, and like just the amount, like the scope of music and like having music festivals down there and shit. It was just like really cool to see because 10 years prior to that, like there was nobody, like fucking like just
Right.
us. And I remember one of the people from Kristen was like, "You're just a fucking mashup of Slipknot and Deftones," and we were like, "Fuck yeah, man, sweet, yeah."
Fuck yeah,
That's
we are.
it's exactly what we're going for,
You
motherfucker.
want to go read the Bible about it, bro?
You're just a mashup of fucking dicks and shits, you little fuck.
Yeah, man, fucking Leviticus.
Leviticus these nuts.
Oh shit, blasphemous. Yes.
That's another cool band.
Leviticus these nuts? That nice. I didn't know that was a band. Good one, Rye Guy. Good call, bud. Good call. Fucking A right. So we do have a specific show coming up. That's so rad, man. It looks so killer. The pastel-y looking colors are great. The light tones, very nice, soft, powdery, fucking delicious. I love it.
So eat it.
Kyle's also doing, for those who didn't hear, Kyle's doing the artwork for the next Horrify EP. And I gotta say, whoo, shit is slapping tits. Shit is slapping tits. It's a badass fucking piece of work, I gotta say. And there's gonna be a spider. That's all I'm gonna tell you guys. There's gonna be a
So
spider.
did you guys just like shoot ideas?
Yes.
Did you guys just shoot ideas at him?
Yes, I did. The other guys were kind of just like,
you didn't let Joel get involved at all.
Joel sent me notes. I paraphrased. It was just me and Kyle talking. The boys weren't. When it was time to like get it done, the guys were just kind of like. I think this was actually when we first talked about this. This was around January, I think.
Okay.
So like Christmas, fresh baby time. You know, the boys, they jump in when they really need to, but when they can trust me with the information, they do. They take advantage of it, and I appreciate them for letting me do that. So we got bands here. Here's bands. We like bands. Look at these bands. Ooh, bands.
Iron Tusk.
Iron Tusk. Iron Tusk is a fucking good band. Fucking right. So let's check out Iron Tusk. I know they got some shit.
I like that.
So where's that show taking place?
This is taking place outside of Gleason.
That's out on Siksika.
Okay, that's what you're talking about going to.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, out at the Powwow
When
Arbor.
was that taking place? Where and when was that taking place? And who can you find there?
That's taking place on Treaty 7 land, part of the traditional Blackfoot territories. Just like where this podcast happens. and his broadcast, where it was founded, and where it airs from, and where it will continue to air from. Ooh, that sounds like a muddle. Probably because I didn't turn off the Spotify. This is Iron Tusk from Siksika, also a fully indigenous band. These are the homies. That's Carlin. So Carlin is he's the guy who started Moments Best, runs Moments Best, and he plays drums for No More Moments. And he's also part of Chief and Council, part of the band out on Siksika.
Killer, man.
He's one of the homies for life.
You should tell them if they want some indigenous artwork for their poster next year, hit me up.
I definitely will. I'll be talking to Carlin about you this weekend for sure, buddy.
Cool, man.
Also, Evil Knievel. It's this weekend.
Evil Beneeble.
I'll definitely share a link with you, and I think it's like, what is it, $30 for the
Yeah,
weekend?
it's BYOB though, so you got to bring your own buses to jump. Nate rules, baby.
Shit. You should be hit with a brick for that.
My friend TJ will fight him later.
Yeah, baby.
That was, I think that was one of the things that TJ disliked the most about me living with Chris, is because me and Chris both really enjoy stupid puns. And TJ, he's not a big fan of it. So after about an hour and a half of hanging out with me and Chris, I think it starts to get to him. But we love our Teetlejuice.
Oh yeah. Teetlejuice, Tiggin' Jiggin' Riggins. The TJ stands for Tiggin' Jiggin'.
Yeah. We don't actually know what the TJ stands for.
The Riggins stands for Riggins.
Yeah. He's a man of mystery.
He is a mystery man. His how do I put this? His mystery is only captured by how mysterious he truly is.
The fuck? He sounds boring.
He doesn't like cops, so we're friends.
Yeah, TJ's
Okay, cool. Yeah. You trust him, yeah.
TJ's 6 foot tall and he plays bass and he hates cops. So we're real.
Oh, he's a bass player.
Yeah, so we're real tight.
Oh, and a lead singer in the Okayest.
Okay.
Because the Okayest is the Okayest punk band.
And I'll tell you right now,
Very humble.
being a vocalist who's been in a couple of bands and played some shows, TJ is a pretty okay vocalist.
Yeah.
That's the goal of the band, except they have Jesse as a drummer now.
They wrecked
Surprise
it. They
everybody.
sold out. So now
They
it's
got
just
Jesse, like, they're gonna have to get Jesse just fucking hammered.
it's Balrogath. It's Balro Punk. Punk Rogath.
It's okay, Regath, as our buddy Mason said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say, man, it's just worth mentioning. You know, I've gotten stoned with the guy who painted the fucking Destroyer Kiss album cover.
Oh, fuck
Get
yeah.
the fuck
Yeah,
out.
man.
Is that
Ken
fucking-
Kelly?
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, man, that guy's fucking wild. Even like he passed away not too long after I met him, but we got fucking hammered one night and we snuck him away. He had a handler, and she was just keeping an eye on him, like make sure he doesn't even.
You don't know what the fuck. Yeah.
So we got him away from his handler and got him stoned, and he's a wild man. Fucking.
Hey, you
wild.
guys
He's
want to
telling
eat
crazy
this fucking?
stories, man.
You guys want to eat this whole fucking sheet of acid with me? Too late. I already ate it all. Woo! You
Dude,
gotta
that
catch
kind
me.
of guy, man. Yeah, like that kind of like just like telling shit like that, man. Like just
Oh, dude,
we just stood in a
Sasquatch's gonna
circle.
love that story.
Oh man, it was fucking trippy. Like I didn't know who he was at first. Like some people were like, "Oh, that's Ken Kelly," and I'm ignorant. And then he's like, "It's the guy who painted the Destroyer, Love Gun, all that shit." I was like, "What?" It's like
Yeah.
I've got those on vinyl, man. Like I've got multiple copies of Kiss, Destroyer, like all the old Kiss
My
albums.
wife's a huge Kiss fan. Like,
Yeah, man. I like grew up like listening to Kiss, right? And my pops like gave me all of his vinyl, like well, not all of it. Fuck, man. We had a fucking sick vinyl collection he got from his sister, and I'm talking about. There's this like I can't find this online anywhere. I know it exists. I held it with my hands. There is a copy of Madonna's "Like a Virgin" that's on vinyl. That's like a bridal dress, the slipcover. It's like
okay.
this like bridal dress thing. I can't find it online or anything. It's like it was like I dreamt it, but I know it was real. You know what I mean? But it's that kind of vinyl collection she had, where like everything. Like I still got my copy from of Duran Duran Rio from that. I've got my copy of fucking Prince Purple Rain from that.
Ooh.
Like that collection.
We're playing a Prince song as an intro
Prince is
song.
my first artist I liked on my own. Like Kiss was like something my dad liked, and Aerosmith my mom liked, but like Prince I would like throw on. We had those like one of those old record players that was like a big coffin. You fucking open it up and throw the fucking record on in there.
Yeah, and it's like a fucking goddamn like airplane control panel inside.
Yeah.
It had the record player and the 8-track player, and then there was like a thing over here for a tape if you had that like adapter in there.
Oh, like I bought one because like I loved that when I was a kid. So I bought one when I got older. It's this beautiful like ash gunmetal gray.
Yeah.
Old school fucking cabinet, but it's crushed blue velvet inside, and then on one side it's got a reel-to-reel player.
Sick.
Dude.
It's fucking rad.
I talked to the daughter of the original owner of fucking Hot Wax in Kensington this weekend. She lives in Sylvan Lake, and she came by my brother's garage sale. She was talking about how when her dad passed away, they loaded up his records and his reel-to-reels and like tapes and shit into the back of a truck, and it fucking weighed down the back of the truck and fucking compressed all the suspension in the back of the truck like it was loaded full of fucking bricks. Yeah, man, like epic. And then there was another record store that ended up buying a whole bunch of the shit too for a record store in Marta Loop. And she told me they still got fucking mountains and mountains of shit too.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Wild stuff, man. Pretty
It's
cool
like the
shit.
worst things. Like I collect all the shit that's like the worst things to move, which is like vinyl, books, art books, comics, and
Fucking
Old
art
hideaway
books, man.
beds and futons.
I got a
yeah, right.
I got-
Fuck yeah,
I got a
man, I'm big
coffee
collector.
I got a coffee table book from Barry Jackson. The guy who did all of Barry E. Jackson. He's the guy who did all the work with Ralph Bakshi in like 80s,
Sick.
early 90s. So like it's got like Cool World fucking panels and unreleased Cool World sketches in it and shit.
Bro.
It's fucking badass. I talked to
Killer.
him on Facebook because he was like, or on Instagram. He was like sharing pages and stuff on his Instagram. And I was like, so you're
Yeah.
telling me that you're the fucking guy that did all the backdrops and like all the background cityscapes for Cool World?
Cool World. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I painted it.
Wicked.
I did them all there, all hand painted. I was like,
Yeah.
fucking out of this world, man.
That's
Fucking
the
right.
shit that I like the old cartoons and stuff. You look and it's like all the backgrounds are all like watercolor and fucking.
A good one
like-
is Rescuers, the original Rescuers. Now, Rescuers Down Under is deadly, but the original Rescuers from like the 60s, the backgrounds for that are fucking all watercolor, so they're
That's the
fucking
one with
deadly.
the lady that rides the fucking
Yeah, fuck
crocodiles.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that book, I got that book. I ordered that book directly from Barry Jackson's fucking website. So like he fucking got all of those fucking dollars. It wasn't Amazon or fuck all, nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was
That's
rad.
deadly, man.
He was fucking like,
Yeah,
he's like, if you dig it,
I'm,
you know.
a good acquaintance of mine, man, that I got to know recently over the past couple of years is Ron, he painted the frame in that old Spider-Man cartoon where they're all pointing at each other. The two fucking Spider-Man are pointing at
Hell
one another.
yeah. That's awesome.
He did all like the old school Ninja Turtles, Care Bears, like the Spider-Man shit. Tons. Like he's always at Comic Cons around here if you ever go to one.
Fucking
He's got,
right.
like he'll have like animation cells from all these shows, and the guy sells out every single fucking time.
Good.
And like once he tells people like, yeah, I'm actually the guy who I drew, like animated that frame.
I'm that
People
meme guy,
lose
you
their
some
fucking
bitch.
mind.
Pay me now.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's cool, man.
Fucking
He's
A, man. Fucking
Well,
right.
like nerd and dork culture is like super cool right now. So like fucking like all those guys are like yeah, they were doing good before, but now like people just like fucking are just like they want to grab up anything. I was collecting these like I was like I'm gonna start collecting some comics, and I was looking at these old 90s Venom comics, and then the Venom movie came out, and now I can't find a single fucking comic, and I'm choked.
There you go, Ryan.
It's
Bad
speculative
investments.
market. It'll always die down. Like people just get kind of racing the brain, thinking that they're gonna like make a million
Everybody
dollars.
thinks it's Beanie Babies, bro. Everybody thinks
Even
it's
Beanie Babies weren't Beanie Babies, bro.
By the way,
Exactly why I use
Like-
that exact thing.
man, this is like this conversation like we should be having on the show. This is like some more interesting shit than.
Well, that's all right because that's all right.
All the good shit get cut
We're
out,
wrapping.
like-
We're wrapping her up anyway. We're wrapping her up
Okay,
anyway.
cool.
It's 8:00. We got to bring it home anyway.
Excellent.
Kyle, where can people find your stuff? And is there anything that you want anybody to check out? The floor is yours, my friend.
At the moment, not really, man. I'm kind of scaling back online. Pretty soon I won't have a Facebook even. I'm taking everything like just back to grassroots. So people will be able to find me at the Queen Mary Market here in Edmonton on 111th. And I forget what street it is, but if you look it up, I'm just gonna be opening up like a flea market booth, man. I'm tired of the online shit. I'm tired of trying to like grab people's attention online and fighting for all that. Like I just want to get back down to like seeing people, looking in their eyes, talking to them,
Yeah.
and like hearing about the day and shit. And but yeah, out of that spot, I'll be like selling apparel, custom shoes. Like I do custom paint jobs on shoes, custom skate deck paint jobs. Pretty much anything physical. I want to get away from that digital. I want to start, putting the physical out. But other than that, man, I just want to come hang out, talk some shit.
Hell yeah, buddy. We want to bring you back on the show too, so I'll definitely be hitting you up about when we can bring you back on again. We want to start making sure we have guests 90% of the time because it's fun. And exactly like you said, got to be talking to people. Got to be talking to people to get shit pumped up.
Yeah, man.
So, if you're in Calgary this Friday at Vern's, come party with us. Trash Talk presents 13 Goats, Reduced to Rubble, and Exit Wound, as well as Bitter Rivals from Red Deer.
Surprise guest, bitter rival.
Yeah, surprise guest added last minute. And they asked me about it shortly after I scored the date, which was like months ago. So, awesome. Love you, Phil. You fucking rule, buddy. Also, Moments Fest is this weekend. So come out to Moments Fest. Come breathe in the sweet, sweet air out in Gleason. Because, man, is it ever nice out there? I fucking love it out there. Last year they were nice
Have you guys
enough.
ever really seen the stars? You will if you come up.
Yeah,
to Moments
buddy.
Fest.
Yeah, buddy. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Ryan may or may not or may bring some mushrooms.
I'm not bringing anything like that. It's an
See?
all ages event, man.
God damn it. Well, see, I
I
tried.
know loud as hell is, but I mean,
I always try to get the contraband in. Hey, the kids, we don't have to share with the fucking kids. They can get their own. Little bastards.
Yeah, man. Fuck.
Always
Shit's
stealing
expensive.
my stash. So we're gonna be out at Moments Fest. We're gonna be shooting bands. We're gonna be shooting this band. We're gonna be shooting a whole bunch of other bands. It's gonna be a great time. We're gonna be getting some interviews. So next Monday, after Moments Fest, we're gonna have a whole bunch of sick new footage to run through and sick new interviews to check out. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. And everybody in the chat, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, Iron Tusk, for joining us. I'm going to stop now before I keep on going now. Everybody have a great fucking night. You guys fucking rule. That's my fucking sweet boy Kyle up there. That's my fucking sweet boy Ryan out there. And those are my sweet guys out there in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming. Cheers.